All right, we are back. We are back. Surprisingly, we actually have slightly less things for this podcast than we typically do to go over, but still some pretty cool stuff that we will be talking about. And to kick things off, like normal, we will be starting with some TV show related news. And to start that, Ben, do you want to take over?
Yeah, so trades have now confirmed rumors that Warner Bros. Has started early development on an It prequel series called Welcome to Derry. So the plot details are largely unknown at this time, but all we do know right now is that it will serve as the prequel to the most recent movies, and will likely show the origins of, you guessed it, Pennywise.
Sheesh.
So
That'll be interesting.
that'll be interesting to see. And I have yet to see the new series of It.
Like the movies?
I've seen like the old It. I haven't seen like any like the new stuff. So I should probably,
Really?
I should probably educate myself.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
mean-
but as most things go,
Gonna say
I haven't seen a lot of things.
at this point it's probably not even worth it. Honestly, there's literally like so many things you haven't seen. It's like it's unfathomable, but like also like there's like I don't know like how you'll ever get caught up, but
I could give it
anyways.
a good old college try.
True. I guess that's true.
So, you guys have any thoughts on that?
I mean, I guess it'll be cool to see what they plan on doing for like the good old origin story of Pennywise, I guess. But
Well, we sort of know the sort of how the beginning of it goes and everything, but it should be interesting.
so like, because I haven't read the book, but if I remember correctly from what I've heard, I don't think they really dive like too much into the specifics of Pennywise's backstory, right? In the books. I
Not
don't
in
know.
the It book, but in some of the other Stephen King books.
He's
He's essentially a primordial being. Like that was here before, like
I don't know if they'll
the
go
beginning of humanity.
that for that. I don't know if they'll go that route for the show. Maybe they will, but
Probably will. Well, nobody
yeah, I
wants to see
guess
some dude from 100 years ago.
I guess. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see how they go about doing that. But yeah, it'd be interesting.
All right, and then let's see here. So there has been a few reports and rumors recently about the upcoming Wonder Man Marvel series. So, as of right now, an official synopsis for the show has been shared by Scooper Daniel RPK. Rest in peace, RPK. Nerf meta. Anyways,
Yes.
with that being said, it is being rumored that Demetrius Grossi, something with a G, has been cast as Simon Williams' brother, Eric Williams, and that Ed Harris is currently in the running to play the show's main villain, although nothing is set in stone as of yet. There is a deadline that has been reported. Deadline has reported too. It is considered a high priority at this point for Marvel So they are fast tracking this development right now. So that is that.
Yeah, so this is in this article is that I guess like leaked synopsis that you were talking about. I don't know if you want to read it or if you want me to, but this is
Let me pull that up.
oh, I have it up on the stream
Oh,
as
you
well. I
do?
didn't know if you had it up, but um it just I'll just read it. It says it's the story of two actors struggling to make it in the Hollywood of the MCU, asking the big question, what does Hollywood look like in a world where superheroes are real? I guess that's
That's deep.
it's the apparent synopsis, I guess.
Is that anything new though? Because that's just kind of his character.
Sorry, say
Like
it again?
they're saying a synopsis is shedding light, but we know this. This is the character. That's like his whole role in the MCU or in the Marvel comics is that he's an actor superhero, and we see that side. I'm just confused at how this is like a. I don't really like Daniel RPK. He says a lot of random stuff, but
Yeah, that's why they nerfed his ass.
I don't know why this is a story.
So I think at least the biggest thing to me was the mention of two actors in the synopsis in like Hollywood or whatever. And I think based off also what Ben said, that might be his brother Eric. Who'd you say they said was likely going to be playing him? Demetrius Gross. That's
being Dimitri, Simon Williams' brother, Eric Williams.
yeah.
Ed Harris is currently in the running to be the main villain.
Yeah, I don't know who that could be, but yeah, I've never seen. Apparently, this Demetrius Gross guy, he's been in Fear the Walking Dead, The Rookie, and Lovecraft Country. All things that I've not seen, but apparently,
You haven't seen Lovecraft Country?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Wow.
But so do you know who this guy is then, Evan? We're talking about.
No, I don't know which one. Who they're talking
what
about.
character is? Yeah, that's fair.
Who is it?
I don't know. It just says they use in Lovecraft Country.
Like a name or?
No, let me see if I.
Okay. I mean, I'm not that fucking worried about it.
So yeah, from what I've seen though, people were saying that was a really good casting choice. If it's true that this guy is going to be playing Simon's brother Eric, but he's my God, why do I have to go through all of this to see it? But so for those of you that don't know, in the comics, Simon, aka Wonder Man, his brother Eric, eventually turns into a supervillain called the Grim Reaper, and that's like his like arch rival nemesis, I guess, in the comics. So I don't know if we'll see that play out in this show or if that'll happen down the line, but just something to mention, I guess.
So they don't have the actor's name in the article?
What do you mean?
That's what I'm asking, like who the actor is.
Oh, Demetrius Grossi, whatever.
Okay, I couldn't see there's a window over part of it.
Oh yeah, that's my bad. Apparently he played Marvin Baptiste in Lovecraft Country. If that's
I'd have to
you remember that
sure.
character was, but anyways, yeah. I do think though, actually I just thought of this. If it's true, based off what Ben said, if it's true that they're fast tracking development on this show, that doesn't really make sense, actually, because I mean it's Deadlight reporting it, so I mean it's, you know, most likely either true or like that they've heard of something that's like along those lines. But because we've talked about stuff recently how only 2 shows are guaranteed to come out this year, right? Which means that like all the other shows are probably pushed back to next year or beyond. And if they're trying to fast track this, which now I'm thinking about it, pretty sure they are, because I think they start filming it like in May, which means they'll probably be done filming at the very least by the end of the year. Probably be done with like post production and stuff by like the middle of next year. Although I can't see it coming out like until 2025, maybe even 2026. So I don't really know what they mean necessarily by Marvel views it as like a high priority and they're trying to fast track development, unless for some reason they are just going to have that come out before some of the other stuff that they've
Well, so they'd
announced.
be. I feel like they wouldn't have to worry about like tying it in as much. So it's probably honestly like a buffer because
Yeah,
they're
that's
delaying
true.
shit anyways.
Right. Yeah, could be. Maybe they're just gonna like throw it in there because it doesn't really like tie in too much to like any of the other stuff. So who knows? I guess we'll have to see. But that's all I gotta say about that. Do you have anything else, Ben, or do you have a break? I can't remember.
I do not. I have a break.
Okay. Evan, do you want to take it over?
Yeah, one sec.
No worries. No worries.
Well, opinions on The Last of Us, the last 2 episodes. My opinions have yet to change.
Sheesh.
It's great. I mean the I'll talk more about episode 8 than episode 7 because it was more of a
True.
advance in the story. But no, I mean they did what I thought they'd do. They didn't really fuck it up. They kept the story intact, and I like how they kept that scene with. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. But I like they kept David and they did the whole burning building boss fight kind of thing. But yeah, I thought it was good.
I thought it was cool to see why can't I think of his name? Who's the guy that voices Joel in the
Troy
game?
Baker.
Yeah, it was cool to see Troy Baker.
Yeah.
I do know.
I thought at least from what we had heard about his role beforehand, I thought it was just gonna be like a very brief like cameo appearance, but I was surprised he actually had like quite a few scenes.
It kind of was.
I
It
mean,
was a one-off. You see him like 5 to 7 minutes of screen time at most.
yeah, I more so meant like I thought he would be just like a character that's like in the background and he has like one speaking line and then like we never see him again
do that to him.
type thing. But yeah, that was cool to see. Well, like I said, we knew going in that he had some role in the show, but it was cool to see that, I guess, finally. But yeah, I do have something actually, because I mean my thoughts are pretty much the same as yours. It's been really great and looking forward to seeing the finale for sure. But I wanted to see if you had an opinion on this. I've seen, okay, well, it seems like a lot of people are saying this, but in reality, compared to like everyone that has seen the show or is caught up on the show and most likely enjoys the show, it's probably just a vocal minority who are who I've seen like talking about this. But and like all of like the threads for like this show that I've like been like looking through, I've seen like quite a bit of people say that they are disappointed that there hasn't been a whole lot of scenes with the infected in this show
Oh my
so far.
God.
I mean, it's
Which
a pilot.
Motherfuckers
series,
that didn't
right?
play the game. The motherfuckers that didn't play the game, because like the only reason you're seeing as many infected as you're seeing in the game is because it's a game. Like it's a
Right.
shooter. Like you can't. It's a
Right.
story. It's a story that they want to tell, but it's got to be interactive. It's got to be entertaining. And I don't know. If you want to go fucking watch The Walking Dead, dude. I'm tired of that shit. I'm just tired of it. I'm interested in the story and the characters. I don't give a fuck about the infected.
Yeah.
Go off, King, go
off. I think, you know, what they're going for with the show is exactly like you said. Like, they're just trying to hit like the main story points from the game. Like, they're not really like worried about, you know, just having the characters having to fight off like endless waves of infected like every episode, you know, like it is in the game. Because, you know, in the game it has to be like that because that's like one of the gameplay like mechanics in order to move forward or progress.
Like
to the
I
next
feel like
area.
we'd be seeing the same scene over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, the infected are here.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta fight them off. Are one
Yeah.
of them gonna die? Even though we've all played this fucking game.
Yeah. And like, if they were to do that, you would either have to have less story elements, right?
Yeah.
Or you'd have to just make the show longer, I guess, if you wanted to like try to fit all that in there.
Like, they already got to do so much in 9 episodes. Like,
right. Yeah. I mean, maybe you could make the argument that they could have split the first game into 2 seasons, but aside from that, there's not really much else that they could have done.
Yeah. They were scared. They didn't even know if this was going to be good. They're like, we just got to tell the story and don't fuck it up.
I know, dude. And I mean, like, I guess, like, if you haven't played the games, I mean, I guess I can kind of see where those people are coming from. Because, I mean, I guess it was being, like, advertised as, you know, another, like, zombie-esque type show, even though they're not, like, really zombies, technically. So I can get why, like, you know, if you haven't played the games or don't know anything about that or the story, why you would, you know, probably expect there to be more of the infected. But, you know, for the purpose of what they're trying to do of adapting the game, or at least the story of the game, you know, that's what they got to do. There's just no getting around it. But that is that's what I think. But yeah, that's all I got for that. Can't wait for the finale.
Ben, you got anything?
No, probably not. I think I'm on the episode after. I'm way behind. I think I just finished the second episode. Yeah, I'm right before they introduce what's his face, his character, Ron Swanson's character, even though that's not his name.
Bro, he's been stuck in the past.
Yeah, dude.
He's talking about stuff we watched like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I'm sorry, mate.
Well, I guess we'll move on.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Another thing I haven't. Episode 1 of Attack on Titan's final season, part 3. Bro. Just fucking make it like season 5. I'm tired of it. Anyways. Episode 1 of Attack on Titan's final season, part 3, now out in North America on Hulu and Crunchyroll. The second and final episode will premiere sometime in the fall. Sometime. You know, 2 episodes, but you know,
Don't people understand we want to watch binge shit?
Well, that's the thing. There's 2 episodes, and they put out one of them, and now we gotta wait until fucking October.
Gotta wait like
for
half
episode
a year.
2. Bro, they're milking the shit out of this ending.
Oh, yeah, they definitely are.
They're all gonna die, right?
the first.
Who fucking knows? I don't think they know. I think they're still writing it.
The first inclination you should have had was when there was when they're like, yeah, we got the final season part 3 coming out this year. It's like, okay, dude, you can't call
Like, is this
something.
the final season or is it not? Like, you can't say it's a season and then take seasons off
You
to
can't
finish the season. Like, that's not what seasons are.
you can't call something the final season and then make 3 of those final seasons. But anyways, I mean, that's just
Like, don't get me wrong, it's fucking dope and it's a great anime and like that. It's really cool, but like, come on.
yeah, I mean, you know, I had to harp on that part a little bit, but at the end of the day, as I'm sure you both know, it's still my favorite anime that I've seen so far. And this new episode did nothing to change that. It was really good. And you know, with it only being 2 episodes, the good thing though is that well, I don't know how long the second and final episode is going to be, but this first episode was an hour long, so it's basically like 3 or 4 episodes combined into one. I mean, I guess that's better, but yeah, hopefully the final episode is just as good, if not better, and it ends on a high note. Is all I'll say. I mean, I'm not gonna go into like much of what happened in the first episode since you guys haven't seen it yet, but
Oh, I've seen
pretty
it.
good. Oh, you have seen it?
Yeah. No, I was just saying, like, oh, great, another fucking thing.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna piss me off.
I see. But
Moving on. I'm tired of talking
yeah.
about fucking my goddamn timeline's full of it, dude. HBO Max's content CEO recently revealed that the current estimated premiere for season 2 of House of the Dragon will be in the summer or fall of next year, that being 2024. As long as they're making it, I don't care how long it takes, honestly. That's my prerogative on it.
Well, actually, you just want it to be quality.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, I really don't give a shit how long it takes, as long as when it finally comes out, it's good. Because that's all that matters. Like, if they would have done that with the last 2 seasons, and hey, they should have added like 2 or 3 more seasons to end the story, but you know, hey, that's just what George wanted, what HBO wanted, what the actors wanted, what the fans wanted, but hey, D&D wanted to direct Star Wars, and they never even got to because they blew it. Anyways, House of the Dragon was good, so I'm down for. I didn't expect it to like. I didn't even expect them to like honestly start filming this year, to be honest. Because like I'm sure.
Well, they would have to probably start filming by the end of this year if it's coming out.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't expect them to start film. I didn't even think about House of the Dragon. I was like, it'd probably come out in a couple of years, I'm sure. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it just seems like one of the things that HBO does is they take their time making shit. So
Yeah. Well, there was a recent rumor, and it wasn't really like, you know, it wasn't being backed.
rumors, dude.
Well, it wasn't being backed by anyone that's like, you know, actually like has had some stuff turn out to be true. So, but it was just like one of those things that, you know, was just out there, I guess, in the world. But basically, it said that there is a chance that season 2 could be out by the end of this year, and I was like, yeah, there's no shot. And that was before this guy clarified that, you know, they're targeting a release for the summer fall of next year. But I was like, yeah, it's definitely not coming out next year at the earliest. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's cool that we now have somewhat of a release timetable as to when season 2 is coming out. But yeah, hopefully it's good as the first season. Probably will be.
Well, I'm at a break.
That's it. All right. Well, so we got quite a bit of Star Wars stuff actually to talk about before we move on to the movie side of things. And actually, at the very end, it's I kind of segue into that because the very last thing is I was gonna bring up is technically, I guess, a Star Wars movie related topic. But anyways, the first of which, you know, you read the title, you know, you knew this was coming eventually. Mandalorian season 3 has finally premiered. And yeah, what were your guys' thoughts?
I
It was
still gotta
good.
watch it.
You
I
what?
gotta watch it still. I'm behind on my days here.
Ben, can you
Well,
can
the
you leave the
next
call?
episode comes out in 2 days. What you mean?
Can you leave the call, Ben? I'm
I mean,
trolling, I'm trolling.
yeah, I can mute myself or deaf myself
Well, I was saying
if you
like
guys want to talk about it.
I was mainly saying like leave and never come back type thing, like for not seeing it, but but no, I guess it's okay that you haven't seen it. But no, what were you saying, Evan?
I said I liked it.
Oh, okay.
There you have it.
Riveting
Yeah, I
analysis.
mean, not much happened. You
Sheesh.
you see some like cool stuff, but like story wise, you just kind of went around and talked to people.
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of just setting everything up for
Oh yeah, no, like
what's
yeah, it's a episode 1, but I'm saying like that's what it was.
right.
And it was good, and I liked it.
Didn't last season have like a 2-episode premiere?
No.
What am I? Am I thinking of Kenobi that did?
No.
Never
All their
mind.
live act. Well, actually, I think Andor actually might have had a 2 or 3 episode premiere, but that was only because they delayed it. But yeah, everything else is only they've only done just 1 episode at a time, even the premiere, because they know it's going to you know,
Hank?
it's going to do well.
Oh, just kidding.
For viewership, that's why they don't need to. That's why they don't need to do a 2 episode premiere, but yeah, there's like Evan said, it was basically just setting up a bunch of stuff that's gonna happen in future episodes. But one thing I I have to bring up is the live action introduction of the Purrgil in Star Wars universe, which was pretty cool to see. But honestly, well, I actually was kind of hoping that we would see like, I mean, we did see them, but it was kind of like you just saw like their what is it, like their silhouette, I guess, like through the hyperspace lane that they were in. But I mean, we'll probably, I imagine we'll see like a clearer look at them at some point, whether in this show or in the Ahsoka show, probably more likely. But yeah, it was cool to see that. But other than that, I think there's really anything else about the episode that I wanted to bring up. I don't know if you guys saw the leak for episode 2, but all I'll say is that it's gonna be a banger of an episode. So if you if you haven't watched the first episode or got caught up yet, I definitely get caught up so you can watch that one, because it's let's just say some wild stuff might happen in this next episode that comes out in 2 days. But yeah, that's we'll have to see how it goes. But so one the next thing, which kind of ties in with this actually, is that there was, so as for the leak for the second episode, by the way, like that like pretty much is accurate, because the like certain like members of the media got access to the first couple episodes for like the reviews and whatnot. But there's another like overall, I guess, like general like plot point leak for the entire season, which has been going around as of late. And it doesn't really like say anything too specific. It just kind of just gives like a general like summary of like the main points of stuff that happens throughout the course of the season. But the biggest thing from that people are talking about that I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on is not necessarily what happens, but what doesn't happen. And what I mean by that is there was no mention of any like crazy surprises or like cameo appearances in this season 3. And after the last season, everyone was like, I guess, eager or looking forward to seeing how they were going to at least match, if not try to top the surprises that we got in season 2, between like Bo-Katan, Ahsoka, Luke freaking Skywalker. Like there's definitely high hopes for that kind of stuff for this season. However, the person that has supposedly seen it and leaked it or whatever said that in the version that they saw, which was pretty recently, there was nothing like that in season 3. There was like no crazy surprises like that. They did mention that there is a chance that they could have added some like last minute, and that they're just waiting to add it last minute, exactly for the reason that ended up happening with the last one, is to avoid like leaks and stuff like that. But I don't know, do you guys have any thoughts on that or no?
Not really.
All right, fair enough.
Not really. I mean, it's I don't know. Some I don't really care to talk about. Really, like, it just feels like it could literally just be anybody saying that kind of stuff. And it's like,
Right. Yeah.
not really any real merit, and I feel like it just changes your preconception of what the season. I just feel like it's something dumb to say. Like, even if you've seen it, like, you're just kind of ruining shit for people. I don't know.
Well, I wasn't saying like if you think it's true or I was saying like if this does turn out to be the case, like would you be okay if there's not like any like, I guess, like surprises?
If it's
like
a
the
good
first 2
story, I
seasons?
could give two shits what cameos. He's seen so many fucking people already.
I know.
Like, it's a lot.
Yeah. It's just like one of those things, like if true, and like there's obviously going to be some crazy stuff that happens this season,
Oh, he needs to go back for that space cowboy.
What?
The space cowboy from Mandalorian.
I know who you're talking about.
The badass, the pistol dude.
All right, who's he talking about, Evan? Because
I don't know his name, but he was
the dude that had the vest on. That
had
was
the
the
shootout.
fucking bounty hunter.
It was like his first live action appearance.
Oh yeah, Cad Bane. Cad Bane's talking about the blue guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's quote unquote dead, and I say quote unquote because probably not, but yeah. I can't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, I feel like because like there's gonna be some crazy stuff that happens, right? Like we already know there's gonna be like crazy action sequences, like from what we've seen from like the trailer and like the set photos that were leaked and whatnot. But if this is true, I feel like they might have done too much in the first 2 seasons in terms of like cameos and like guest appearances or surprises, because in the first season, like actually I guess Grogu himself was technically a surprise in the first season because no one knew that he was gonna be in the show up until that first episode. And then the Darksaber's introduction at the end, and then season 2, we already talked about that. Like And those like surprises are, I feel like, are the main things that people talk about, right? Or have talked about, like, since those seasons have come out. So like if they don't have anything like that in this season, I mean, I'm with you. Like I'm sure I'll be fine with it, because I think the story is going to be good and the stuff that happens, like action and whatnot. But I feel like the general reception might not be as good if there's like nothing crazy, just because like since they did that in the first 2 seasons, the expectations are going to be insanely high for more of that stuff to happen. Which is why I said like maybe they did too much in the first 2 seasons relating to that. Like maybe they should have saved, like, I don't know, like Luke for like this season or something like that. But anyways, we'll see what happens, because obviously that's far from being confirmed being the case. But and even if it is, like, the person even said like there's a decent chance that they just waited until the last minute to like add like a surprise. But yeah, we will see what happens. But anyways, moving on. Apparently Jon Favreau is already confirmed. Well, we knew that they had confirmed a Mandalorian season 4 sometime last year, I can't remember when, but Jon Favreau recently revealed that he's actually already done writing the script for season 4. So yeah, that's that's already done. And apparently they are planning on starting filming sometime in the fall of this year for season 4. And along with that, apparently there is a decent chance that a season 2 for Boba Fett might also happen. And if true, if it gets the green light, it's expected to start production around the same time as Mando season 4 this fall. And they'll probably be filming around the same time concurrently. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Maybe.
But
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not as hyped for a second season of Boba Fett than I am of like season 4 of Mando.
yeah.
Because I feel like I sound cynical saying this, but I feel like the best part of Boba Fett were the Mando parts. Like I feel like I get because I'm not like an old head Star Wars fan. Like I watched the movies and I like them. I like the originals and stuff, and I get where like the prequels, like what merit they had and whatnot, and what they added and what they took away, that kind of thing. But I just don't care. I guess that much about Boba Fett. I think it's just because to me he was like a cooler figure as someone you didn't quite know. He's like more mysterious. But I like the actor. I'm glad he's able to take that role and have his own show. And the story wasn't bad. Like I'm not saying anything bad about the show. It's just the best parts of it were the Mando parts.
Yeah, they kind of did Boba Fett dirty, not gonna lie, because like you said, the show was like decent but like not great up until they introduced Mando.
Yeah, just
right?
like, wait a minute, what am I watching?
And then
this Mandalorian season 3?
Those two. That's what I'm saying. Like Boba Fett wasn't even in 2 episodes.
Yeah,
it was literally just Mandalorian, and they just gave him the coolest action sequences, the coolest lines, like the coolest like story points, like in a show that wasn't even like his. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I'll take it, but I feel like maybe we should have gotten more and better stuff.
At least we got
like,
to see him in the back
Fett,
of the tank a couple times.
That's true, we did.
Having flashbacks.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
I do think the opening of Boba Fett was awesome, and that's only because it's exactly what Patton Oswalt had said on Parks and Rec. So.
True, actually. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, will season 2 of a potential Book of Boba Fett be just, a glorified Mando season 3.5 again? I I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're gonna go that route again, or if they're actually gonna, just stick with Boba Fett. Who's to say? But yeah, I do agree that it was like it was good, but at the same time it was weird how they chose to do the first season, because yeah, at that point, like, you might as well have just called it Mando season 3, to be honest, and just
Yeah, like at that point, just don't make the show. I
yeah.
mean, like don't make that the Boba show. Make the
Yeah.
Boba show like I get interconnecting. I would, and it'd be awesome. Like, oh, Mando's in with his crew and stuff, but like it totally felt like he got hijacked from his own fucking show.
He did. Honestly, like, what they should have done is just called it Mando season 3, and then, like, made it mostly Mando like they did in the first place, but then just had, like, a couple episodes that were just like focused
Sprinkle
on
in some Boba
Fett,
Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then make the
But-
Boba Fett series.
Yeah.
You're doing what DC did. We want Justice League first, right? And then we do the origins.
Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting, but we'll see. There are rumors that Boba Fett will show back up during the actual Mandalorian season 3 that's going on right now. So maybe something happens, and then that will lead into something more interesting that'll happen for a potential Boba Fett season 2. Who knows? Happen, but we shall find
Remember,
out.
kids, the Mandalorians are a cult. Remember.
Some of them.
No, they all. Hey, the only
Just don't take
difference
your helmet
between cult and religion is a couple hundred years and tax write-offs. That's it.
No, they're not. They probably are. But it's all right. Yeah. So next up, I think we talked about before how it was being heavily rumored that the Ahsoka show is going to come out sometime this summer, and apparently, the actress that plays her, Rosario Dawson, hold on, let me look at the exact quote because I can't remember when she said. Yeah, when asked about it, she said that she thinks the show is going to come out sometime in the fall of this year. So, if true, it's a little bit of a delay, from when most people were expecting it to come out. But, I mean, I guess if it's technically like late August, I mean, it's only like a month or two after I expected it to come out. But even if it's not August, it's probably gonna be out like in September. So not
I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot it was a show.
Not too crazy. Well, I wish I could say the same because that's all I can think about, unfortunately. And I've said this before, but while I'm extremely hyped for Mando season 3, this show is easily the one I was most excited for this year, at least in terms of Star Wars. But anyways, yeah, that's apparently, according to her, most likely going to come out in the fall rather than the summer. So yep, that is we should expect it to come out. There you have it. There you have it. And then I think, was there something else I was gonna say? Hold on. No, that's it. But all right, so two more things. Next we got, apparently, now before we dive too much further into this particular rumor, the source in which it comes from has not really like they haven't made any other like scoops or like leaks or claims like recently. They are like technically like an industry insider, but they haven't really like revealed anything like this ever before. So I would take this particular news with an even bigger pinch of salt than some of the other stuff we talk about. But Anyways, moving on. Apparently this person says that at the upcoming Star Wars Celebration event next month, that Lucasfilm is going to announce a new series, limited series, so just one season. That is going to be a collection of anthology shorts, like short episodes, and in those episodes, the main characters are going to be, like some of the original OG legacy characters, I guess, if you will, like Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, etc. Um, they did not say, or they just don't know if it's going to be live action or
I was gonna
animation.
ask. It's got to be animated because isn't Disney like? Don't they not want to fuck with the legacy characters anymore? Because like,
I mean, they did technically just have Luke and the Mandalorian in season 2. But...
yeah, that's true. But like, I don't know. I swear I talked about previously that Disney was like kind of wary on using them as much because it's gonna fuck up the previous 6 movies.
Yeah, they probably don't want to use them like a whole lot. But if this is true, it sounds like, it would be like one of them, like headlines, like their own episode, and it sounds like they're just gonna be like a short episode. It almost kind of sounds like the oh, what was that came out last year, the Tales of the Jedi. Oh, that was like, like a very short like anthology, like each episode was only like 10 minutes long type thing. So whether it's live action or animation, I'm assuming it'll probably be something like that. And as to the timeline, I have no clue as to when like the stories could take place, whether it's after episode 6 or between the events of certain movies, who knows. But yeah, I would have to imagine it's probably going to be animated if this is true. Because I mean, I guess they could they could go, the CGI recreation route like they did with Luke and Mando, but I don't.
Getting Carrie Fisher out of her grave.
No, I just don't know if they would do that for like a whole show like that, even if it is, short. But I guess we'll find out soon enough because, they said that if this is true, it's going to be revealed at Star Wars Celebration, which is about a month and a half away. So we'll find out soon enough if this is truly accurate or not. But until then, we just go with what we're given. There's information, but yeah, that's I guess before I move on to the last thing, do you guys have any additional thoughts on that or no? If it does turn out to be true.
I mean, it's probably gonna be animated, that's for sure. That's all I gotta say, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, actually, I didn't have it typed out, but I forgot to when we were talking about The Mandalorian. Apparently, Jon Favreau said, I think it was in the same interview that he said that he was already done writing season 4 for Mando. He said that Grogu was training with Luke for about 1 to 2 years before he went back to Mando in Boba Fett, which was surprising to a lot of people, myself included, because the way that
the way it looked, it was like
maybe a couple months, right? like a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, like max. And he's like, yeah, he was there for like 1, maybe even like 2 years. He was training with Luke. I was like, huh? Like why did we only get to see like one training sequence like from that? But yeah, that was definitely interesting. At least I thought that's like technically canon that he was training with him for that long. And that has since brought up another like, round of fan theories, I guess, or I guess like fan hopes that we could eventually see either like flashbacks or like, like a episode or two of something that was like just dedicated to like more of, you know, that time, like when Luke was training Grogu. But
And they still won't give us fucking Order 66 from
Right.
any of the Jedi's perspective anymore. We got the ones from the prequels, and then never again. Even though it's like the coolest thing that happened.
Right, dude. Yeah, I mean, who knows?
If we don't see it this season with Grogu's perspective, we're never seeing it, dude. We're never gonna see it,
dude. That's what I'm saying, bro. If they showed us that, and you know what I'm talking about, that like very brief like glimpse in one of the trailers where like you see the flashback to Order 66. Like if that's like, if they don't expand on that, dude, I'm gonna feel a little sad. But
I'll be upset. I'll be like, I don't know, man. I don't know if Grogu's gonna be able to cover for that bullshit.
Right, dude. But yeah, you and me both. I hope we get either this or between this season 3 of Mando and Ahsoka, you know, like from some of the possible like rumors we've heard about that, it sounded like there's a good chance that we could see more of that in either one or both of those shows. But yeah, hopefully hopefully we do, but who's to say? But anyways,
DC or DC, wow,
DC is now taking over Star Wars.
God, please no.
That would be scary, but yeah, this
fucking Disney can barely do it. Don't give it to DC.
Right.
Warner Bros will fuck this shit up. Looks like they're trying to make goddamn Cursed Child. Never mind.
Nah, they won't.
Damn.
They want to.
Surely not.
That's gonna be bad because it's a bad fucking story, dude. It's not canon in my head, dude. Anyways.
Yeah, that leads us into the very last Star Wars thing before we move on, and this kind of segues into the movie stuff that we're going to be talking about, and because it is, you know, related to one of the Star Wars movies, episode 3 to be precise. But this isn't, I guess, like really any like news for anything upcoming, but the YouTube channel Star Wars Theory, they recently did a interview with the main stunt coordinator for the prequel trilogy, and he revealed some pretty interesting stuff that not even I knew about, honestly, which is saying something about the trilogies or the prequel trilogy. And you know, he said a bunch of stuff. We're not going to cover all of that, but if you are interested in learning more about, you know, like the behind the scenes and stuff that you know, could have happened, was planned on happening, but didn't end up happening, then I would definitely recommend going and watching the full interview. It's like an hour and a half, something like that. But the main thing that I want to talk about that he revealed in this interview is, you know, of course, the main thing that everyone has been talking about from this interview, and that is the end fight scene between, you know, Anakin and Obi-Wan actually was...
Did they fight in that movie?
What's up?
Nothing. Go on.
Oh, okay. But no, apparently that fight was supposed to end quite a bit differently. And so they had this ending, right, to the fight, and it was supposed to be that, like, for pretty much almost all of production for the movie. And apparently at the very last minute, George Lucas decided to change the ending to the fight, not the movie.
It's like poetry.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll just we'll go into what he says about that, and then, you know, we can talk about it a little bit more if you guys have any thoughts on it. But anyways, he said that, hold on, I gotta find it. Yeah, he starts out by saying or mentioning that apparently a lot of the crew members and even like some of the cast like Hayden Christensen, Hayden Christensen, and Ewan McGregor, like they both apparently preferred this original ending than the ending that we ended up getting. But anyways, that's what he prefaced it with. But he said there's a version, the whole volcano thing. Yeah, we know that. Originally, they swung and landed. They swung off the boat thing, and they landed on the side of the volcano on the lava right next to each other. So rather than Kenobi jumping off and saying it's over, I have the high ground, whatever, like they both jumped off and made it onto the ground. And apparently Anakin disarms Obi-Wan, and then he has like his lightsaber up, I guess, and I'm just like, because he doesn't like really, I guess, specifically say how it happens, but I'm just like guessing based off how he phrased it. Apparently like Anakin, I guess, like has his lightsaber like held up above Kenobi, and then he like drops it, as in like he drops the lightsaber to have it like fall down and like cut through Kenobi, but then he like somehow dodges out of the way at the last second, and then he like force pulls his lightsaber back to him, and then he well, as he says here, he like then like cuts up through Anakin, essentially by mistake, and that's how he like gets all of his like limbs chopped off and stuff like that. But as he phrases it here, it was more of a defense gone wrong kind of thing, rather than him deliberately
an active decision.
yeah, like dismembering Anakin, like what we saw in the first one. But yeah, long story short, apparently a lot of the other cast and crew preferred this ending to the one that we got. Before I say what I think, is there any thoughts you guys have
I
about
thought that was cool. I mean, it fits. I feel like it fits the character. But I mean, at that point, he was prepared to do what he had to do to, end it. So
yeah,
I think it's cool to think about, though. So, I mean, it'll never happen and it'll never change. But what if?
right, yeah. Ben, do you have any thoughts or no?
So like, should be cool to see, right?
So
What direction they go?
would you have preferred to have seen that, or what we end up getting in episode 3? You know what we're talking about, right?
Right. So like, obviously, like, I'd be fine if it's written that it'll keep the viewers' interest in like an actually good progressive story. But like, if not, okay. I guess either way you skin the cat, just make it good.
All right then. Yeah, so I honestly don't really have a preference either way. Like, the more I thought about it, the more I thought about it, I really just don't have a preference either way as to like this ending or the one we ended up getting, because while this ending, I guess like it brings like it adds like a whole new element to what happened to Anakin, right? Because in this ending, Kenobi really didn't intentionally do that, right? When he like cut off his limbs, it was more of like like that they're like a defense gone wrong type thing. So that kind of add like a new dynamic, I guess, to what happened. But at the same time, I also kind of like I guess, just the poetic nature of the original ending, though.
Like
and
poetry.
Yeah.
Poetry flowers.
And what I mean by that is because, we saw it's kind of like Kenobi, like we see him like learn like from his mistake. Well, I guess not his mistakes, but we see him learn from others' mistakes, like from the first movie, right? Because in the first movie, right, when he's fighting Maul, he actually has the low ground, but he's still able to flip up and over Darth Maul, and is able to cut him in half, and what we thought killed him. If you watch Clone Wars, that he survived it. But anyways, and then you see like how he kind of like learned from that and like realized like, okay, like Maul definitely should not have Maul should not have lost that. Like I definitely should have been dead, right? Like how can I like make sure that like something that like never happens to me, type thing. And then you see it like progress all the way to episode 3, or I guess you fast forward to episode 3, and then you see like he's in that same position, except he's on the high ground, right? So he kind of has that experience of knowing like what not to do in that scenario. So it like makes sense from that perspective, I guess. How he was able to chop Anakin up when he tried to like jump over him in the same way that he did Darth Maul in the first movie. But that's just me. But with that being said, yeah, I could really go either way. Like I like the ending we got. If they ended up going with this ending instead, I feel like I would have been just as okay with it. But yeah, in the rest of the interview, like he revealed other stuff, like or I guess he goes more into depth about some of the deleted scenes from Order 66. We've talked about before. There's a lot of stuff from that ended up getting deleted. He talks about that stuff. Apparently, the Yoda versus Count Dooku fight at the end of episode 2 was not supposed to happen originally. So like the first time we would have saw Yoda fought would have been in episode 3 when he fights the Emperor. And yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff like that. So again, if you're interested in learning more about that stuff, of what could have been or what was supposed to have been from the prequels, I would definitely recommend going and watching that full interview. But yeah, that is going to be it for what I have relating to that and the Star Wars stuff. So we will be continuing to talk about more movie related stuff, rumors, official news, stuff like that. And with that being said, Ben, do you want to take back over?
Yes, sir. So, we have James Wan and Blumhouse Studios are adapting the video game Dead by Daylight into a live-action horror film. Interesting. Furthermore, Blumhouse has
Wait. Sorry, did you say Dead by Daylight?
Dead by Daylight.
Oh God.
Is that the
First 5 nights, now this, dude? The nerds aren't gonna shut up.
Isn't the Dead by Daylight the like
It's like
the parkour
one...
zombies thing?
No, you're thinking of Dying Light is what you're thinking of.
Oh, I was gonna say
Yeah,
that might be cool, but Dead by Daylight.
I'd love a Dying Light movie. That'd be dope. Dead by Daylight is the where like one person plays a killer and then everybody else, there's like 4 other people, they play survivors, and you gotta like escape and hide and try to get out and that kind of thing.
So like the different chapters, are we thinking like one will actually be like the defaulted villain that's in that, and then it's like the DLC, then we get like Slenderman.
I mean, if that'd be the only reason I would be excited for this, is if they had the ability to use those IPs separately. I don't think they will, but they got the ability to use them in a video game, so who knows what well, but I'm sure it's just gonna be like they take the premise of the original characters and make it a movie kind of thing. I don't get that though, because there's already what were the 2 ones? The Man of Medina or something like that, and then the Corey, and like I would much rather play those games than watch them, because you get to make decisions and whatnot.
Interactive
but
thing,
yeah, but hey, They were like, "Hey, let's get the Fast and Furious guy." But Blumhouse usually does pretty well with like horror movies and whatnot. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
they got some misses, but they got hits. So they're
You know
no
what?
A24, but
You know what, dude? I'm glad you said that because they revealed they'll be starting to develop more horror video games in the near future. So
good. You should probably focus on that. Honestly,
damn,
movies don't make near as much money as video games.
damn, and that's all Evan had to say about that. Huh?
I don't know how, like, I'm just like trying to wrap my brain around it because
How it would be a movie?
Yeah, because
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
there's
dude.
no,
like
like-
the only thing I could see is if it was like a series or something.
Can you
And,
imagine
like
if
each
they did
episode was a different color.
Can you
Like,
imagine? Can you imagine if they made that the movie, but like it's an interactive experience, so like everyone's given a controller and the
how they
majority
do
of
like
the room.
Bandersnatch?
Yeah. But
That'd
like
be
the
cool.
majority of the room has to hit that button, or else if you don't, then you die.
Okay, this guy.
that actually is true. I guess they could do like an interactive movie like that, but it would
It'd
have to be
on
like a
streaming
streaming.
site.
You could do that
Yeah.
with the fucking Netflix remotes, or your
Yeah,
Well,
TV's
not
part of
everybody's got
Netflix.
Netflix remotes, bro.
Okay,
Guy's got an
well,
individual remote for
there's this thing
Netflix.
called
This guy.
password sharing. If you know how to get around it.
Did you see that they like somebody like quote unquote leaked that they like their new policy that they wanted to do in the US with like passwords and like using like in the household and stuff, and like they lost so much market share
Oh,
and
yeah.
like people unsubscribed, and I was like, yeah, good, because that's fucking stupid, dude. Like,
Are you talking about like 2 months ago?
yeah.
Yeah, and then they like deleted that like off like the site or whatever, and they were like,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, no, that wasn't accurate. We deleted
totally
it.
good.
We got something else coming in the future.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
oops.
Don't worry. I did see it. I was like, okay, dude, they really thought they could pull that off, dude. But yeah, I don't know what they're gonna end up doing with that, but
Anywho, enough of this Dead by Daylight movie. Has James Wan directed a horror movie?
Yeah.
What?
he did The Conjuring.
Oh,
Didn't
no.
James
the
Wan
first
do a
two.
Fast and Furious movie?
Yeah.
Go a couple.
Yeah, he also directed Aquaman as well.
I can't. Oh, all right. Here's a crossover for you. You take the Fast Five or Fast
Oh my God.
family, and you put them in the Dead by Daylight series.
No. Move on.
Battle
Please.
Death by
Please.
Cars.
Jesus.
Okay, so going down the list here, it actually says Blumhouse is now making a Disney horror movie. No, I'm just kidding.
Imagine.
Disney rumored to be considered selling their 67% stake in Hulu in Hulu to Comcast.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
Comcast.
yeah. So now Disney would potentially ask for the distribution rights back for characters such as Namor and Hulk as a part of this deal.
Go ahead, take them.
So,
if we get Namor and the Hulk, we can actually get an actual Hulk movie.
Right, exactly. So we can start to get some more movies and shows for those characters.
Yeah, so
I still hate. Sorry, go on.
I was just saying, like, I think they're just talking like a hypothetical of like what they could ask for in like such a deal, and they're saying like there's a chance that they might ask for like those distribution rights back if they sold their what was it, 67% share
Yes, sir.
to
You got it.
Comcast, because I'm pretty sure Comcast owns the other percent. So I guess they would be trying to get like full ownership or something. I don't know, but yeah, for those of you that don't know, because they don't have the distribution rights for Namor and Hulk, they can't do like any solo like projects, whether it's like a show or like a movie with either of those characters, since yeah, have those rights. What were you gonna say, Evan? Earlier.
Oh, this is gonna be a whole tangent. So I'm it was literally just I'm upset with people for hating that Hulk has character growth.
Oh, I thought
And
you,
a
I thought you were
son.
gonna say that people hate that Hulk changed actors. I was like,
Oh
well,
god, no. No, it's just people. It's just, like I get some like the gripes with Smart Hulk, and you know we didn't see much on screen of how like he did. Like there's some deleted scenes that like would have been nice to actually have in the movie, but like where else was his story going? Like, were we just gonna see more angry Hulk? Like has to at least try this before we go to like World War Hulk. I don't
Can
know.
you
I think
imagine?
people just wanted it to go straight to fuck all the character growth he had. I want him to be angry green guy again.
Can you imagine if they did do it that way, Evan? It'd be a movie where like he's totally out of control. Number one, movie number one. Movie number two, he's gaining a little bit more control. Movie three, he's got medium control, and then at the very end, he's got total control.
Yeah, that's essentially where we're at, except we missed a little bit of that middle part.
Yeah.
And it's on the cutting room floor. Have you seen any of those deleted scenes?
And I know actually, I don't
probably
think
not.
I don't
You
think I have.
should look up a couple of the whenever you get a chance. The Hulk, I think Endgame and Infinity War. You got a couple that like explain so much, like him turning into Smart Hulk and them like have like it's literally one of the scenes is him and Hulk. It's that scene when he's in the park and he's like, you know, you got to come out, like we need help, and Hulk's like, no, Hulk, but that kind of thing. It's that scene, and then it's after like when they get like their ass beat and shit, and they're like, man, me and you got to have a talk. They cut it there in the movie, but like on the cutting room floor, like they have a conversation between him and Hulk about like we got to work together. Like this shit ain't gonna fly. Like our friends are gonna die. Like. Yeah, no, it would have been nice to keep in the movie.
And that's like how he turns into Smart Hulk, or that's like the
like that's the
catalyst for him,
beginning of like you seeing him and Hulk start to like understand their common ground.
Gotcha.
Because like that, you could see that inevitably leading into Smart Hulk,
Right.
but like we don't see that. We just see him and Hulk just not on the same page, and the next time you see them, they're on the same page. So like I totally get the gripes about that, and I don't understand why they took this shit out of the movie. But you know, it was a big movie. It was a lot.
Yep.
But anyways, that was a tangent. You can move on.
Well, boys,
Mm-hmm.
it's not looking so good for our tiny friend Ant-Man. Yep. Quantumanium has had reportedly the second worst week drop in revenue among the MCU films so far. You may be asking, what kind of drop? Well, 70% drop. The film is projected to make around $500 million overall, which would be the lowest number of the third Ant-Man movies. However,
are these? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just wondering, is this strictly off box office, or is this off reviews as well? So I'm pretty sure, didn't it get at a certain point review bombed? Like obviously, I mean, I watched it and I liked it, but it wasn't like crazy good.
They're talking about box office numbers.
Okay,
in terms
gotcha.
of the
Okay.
drop, yeah.
Oh yeah, continue. I just wanted to clarify.
No, you're good. So the number is still being viewed as being decent enough to avoid being labeled a failure amongst the studios. But Additionally, writer Jeff Loveness revealed that we will see more of Kang's backstory, thank God, in Avengers Kang Dynasty, but the film will have higher stakes than Quantumania. So basically, we're getting more deaths, so I'm all for it. Let's see them do some scenes.
I'm pretty sure most of some of the antagonists in some of these upcoming projects are going to be Kang, like a version of Kang. And I feel like by the time we get to Kang Dynasty, people are going to forget all about oh man, I wish I saw more Kang and Ant-Man. It's like, oh, you're going to see Kang.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he's going to be, like, alternate versions of him are going to be most of, I feel like, the big bads that lead up to Kang Dynasty. Because I feel like the Kang Dynasty is the multiverses that, the Council of Kangs, keeps up. Like those two timelines that you see.
For sure.
But yeah, no. I like to think a lot about what would happen if they let my boy direct Ant-Man, but
Edgar
there's
Wright.
too many creative differences, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
he's like, I want to make it good, and they're like, well, how about we make it okay?
I actually didn't mind well.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't hate any of them.
Yeah.
Like, I had a smile on my face watching all three of those movies. I like Paul Rudd, and he carries them, but like, it's only so much you can do with, they like to say that we gotta treat Ant-Man, it's a good character, like he's one of the founding Avengers, and like we had a plan for him early, but then you sort of treat him like this. Like, at least in the first two movies, it was like, it was like they were like side adventures that had no repercussions until the end of the second movie, where it had all the repercussions. And I feel like they needed to find a happy medium, because between the second Ant-Man movie and this Ant-Man movie, completely different vibes. Like, this one definitely felt like it was supposed to be kind of somebody else's movie, sort of. But that's just based on what they've, done with the previous two. That's why I feel that way with the third one. Not because that's who Ant-Man is as a character, but just because of how they've, set the expectations with the first two movies, and then going in this direction with the third one. And I think a lot of, at least average fans, average people, moviegoers, that's what they're seeing, but they just don't really know how to put words to how they feel about it.
I feel like, I think we talked a little bit about this the last time too. Like, I feel like they thought Quantumania would be the best movie to introduce Kang because of the quantum realm, and they probably like didn't know how else to do that in terms of like introducing Kang, or like where he could have been all this time. But even if that's the case, right, I wonder if, kind of like going along with what you said, if it was another movie, as to which character or movie it should have been, that's anyone's guess. But like, picture it like something else, or like a different movie, but like they could have easily had Ant-Man as like one of the characters in the movie, though. You know what I'm saying?
It didn't necessarily need to be an Ant-Man movie.
Right, because like if you wanted to tie in the quantum realm, like, okay, that's fine. Like, you just have Ant-Man in there, and
just because like that's where it was introduced in the MCU, was through Ant-Man, doesn't mean it has to be an because like most of the Avengers have now time traveled, and gone through the quantum realm to time travel. So like it didn't have to be, but I get like why they wanted it, because it would make the most sense, I guess. But it's just, that's not the kind of story people expect, which is kind of like they shot themselves in the foot, because that's what they were saying after the first Ant-Man, and then after the second Ant-Man they were just like, okay, well, we're following the formula, You gotta keep it a little light. That's what people want. And then when the second one came out, they're like, we want more. Like it's a side movie, and then they get a movie that's an entirely like foundation for the next phase of the next couple phases of the MCU. And they're just like, oh, it's too big. We want small Ant-Man. Where's that funny guy that tells the stories? And it's like, you gotta have a happy medium. You can't just want both sides of it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the writer, Jeff Loveness, I'm pretty sure he said too that like, not like the whole reason, but like part of the reason why he didn't have Kang do, I guess, more in the movie in terms of like, just destruction and like just killing people left and right is because of exactly that. Because of like the tone that the previous two movies already set for the franchise. He kind of had to like make it a little bit more like fun and lighthearted in that way, I guess. And he couldn't just like, I don't know if he said he couldn't, but like he just felt like it wasn't the right thing to just make it like completely dark and just have Kang just absolutely destroying everyone. But
I feel like they tried to stay too safe with it.
Really?
Sorta. That's what, like, if they didn't pick, let's go straight Ant-Man, just a straight up Ant-Man movie, and they didn't pick, this is Avengers. This is an Avengers movie. It was a big movie with some Ant-Man stuff in it. It was more big than Ant-Man, but which is ironic. I'm saying big in here. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't have really much else to say about Ant-Man Quantumania.
I will say one thing that does make sense, which like retroactively I do think not only makes sense, but like it could work or could end up working like down the line, is that because one of the main things I saw, well, everyone loved Kang and loved Jonathan Majors in this movie. That was like pretty much like the one thing that everyone can agree upon was like either the one good thing or like the best part of the movie, depending on your views of the movie, I guess. But one of the things that most people say, even despite that I've seen, is that he I guess, long story short, he didn't look like an Avengers level threat in the movie. People are like, okay, well, if literally Ant-Man can quote unquote beat him alone, how is he going to be a legitimate threat, to the rest of the Avengers, their heroes that are going to assemble to battle him, I guess, in Kang Dynasty. And the reason for that, according to the writer,
because he didn't have his time machine, or I think it's a suit too, right? Like a lot of his powers through his suit, and it was fucked up.
No.
Oh, well, that's
well,
what I got from the movie.
I guess that could have. I guess that could have been partly the reason, as well. And part of the reason was he said is going to be something that we'll find out in Quantumania. So I guess that could be part of the reason. Like maybe he's like weakened somehow, some way while he's in the quantum realm. Or maybe it's like you said, maybe it's had something to do with his armor or something, who knows. But another major reason, I guess, is because of nothing like that at all, but that's just like how the character is going to be. But because like, well, I guess before I say this, in the comics, right, like Kang, he definitely is an Avengers level threat, obviously, but like in terms of his individual, right? Wait, what would you say?
Oh, I see where you're going. Never mind.
Yeah, I was just like, in terms of his individual power level, it's not like as great as someone like Thanos, right? Like like Thanos.
Well, he's a human.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like even without the Infinity Gauntlet, like Thanos can easily still like give the whole Avengers roster a run for their money, right?
Yeah.
Anybody that can like at base level fight the Hulk is
right, exactly. Whereas Kang, like, and this is, you know, the part where what the writer said ties in. He said that in the comics, you know, Kang is actually beaten a lot. Like, he loses a lot in the comics to the
He just he
Avengers.
has time on his side.
Exactly. But like his
He can lose. He just needs to win once.
exactly,
And like he has unlimited tries.
yep. That's
Like,
what
yeah,
makes him the most dangerous. But yeah, go ahead.
I think one of the animated movies, maybe it was one of the shows, or maybe it was the comic book I'm thinking of. Maybe it doesn't exist, but I'm pretty sure Kang beats the Avengers specifically because of time. Like, because he's lost so many times that he knows like what's gonna happen. He knows the weaknesses.
Yeah.
He knows what his weaknesses are against this very specific Avengers roster. And I think when, at least with this version that we see in Ant-Man, I think he's gotten to the point where like he's beaten a good amount of Avengers. But the Council of Kangs like obviously banished him, which I think is the case. And I'm pretty sure it's confirmed. But I don't know. I just think people underestimate that he can time travel. Like, I don't know. People look at him like, oh, his muscles aren't that. I mean, his muscles are huge. Nobody's saying that. But like his power level isn't as big as like an Avengers level threat. And I feel like all we've seen up to now as Avengers level threats, at least in the MCU, are, you know, these people that have physical strength. I guess I should say, like, not necessarily physical, but it manifests into like something you see as physical strength. Because it's always a fight. It's always got to be a fight. It's always got to be a Avengers versus. It's never like the only time I think we don't get that is Civil War. Civil War, yeah, I think that's the only one because the main baddie is, you know, Baron Zemo, and he's not necessarily a very intimidating figure, but like as a person.
Doesn't have any powers,
but it's his mind and it's his planning and it's his, you know, willingness to do what it takes to win. And I think that's going to be the same thing with Kang, but also he's a monster. So
True. Yeah. Long story short, it's not the last.
when we talked about the movie, but I think that his plan was to get out, but not inform the Council of Kangs. And I think that was the best way for him to get out of the quantum realm, but it was to make it look like he lost, and he was, you know, sucked into that fucking the whatever powers his time chair. I think that might have been his plan, and that's why he maybe had lost so easy.
That's true.
But yeah,
I don't remember you bringing that up last time, so.
well,
But,
brought it up now.
But yeah, that's actually a good point, because it would, if true, that would also make sense as to why he chose to like start fighting Scott like hand to hand, like at the end, you know, like rather than like fixing his suit or like getting a weapon or something. He's that would make sense, because, you know, he's not trying to actually kill him. He's trying to make it look convincing so that he can get, you know, maybe that his like time engine or whatever that he gets sucked into, like maybe that's actually how.
Yeah, because like we have no
escape.
fucking clue what that is.
Right.
What's the time engine? What's that? How does that work? Like, I think it obviously has something to do with the same technology that works with the bangles and with the 10 rings, but like, what does that fucking mean? Because we don't know about those yet. Like, in terms of the MCU, like even Wong is like, no clue what the fuck these are. It's pinging somebody, probably bad. We'll keep you informed on what happens.
Because like, now that I'm thinking about it, if he needed that engine to power his ship to leave the quantum realm, right? Whether that be like through time travel or whatever, it would make sense that he could like repurpose the engine to just do exactly that, like in
Yeah,
another
like if
way
he
without
knows
the
how
ship,
it
right?
works, which nobody fucking else does. Like at least not Ant-Man, the Wasp, and fucking Cassie. They're not gonna have any clue. So like for all they know, like even that's what makes my theory, I feel like, even more like cemented is at the end of the movie. They did this specifically where Ant-Man's walking down the street. He goes into that store. I think he's in a different universe, by the way. I don't think he's in the original. I don't think he's in the original at least multiverse universe that he was in when he went in.
Right.
Because when he goes in, that guy charges him, even though he knows who he is now, and he knows that he saved the world. So I think that's like a little hint that it's different. But specifically at the end, he says like, "We beat him, right? Yeah, we beat him. I didn't just fuck everything up, right?" And like I think that right there is when he starts to notice like how easy it was. And like, that was a little too easy
Right.
that I just beat Kang.
Right.
Like, I feel like that helps the theory, but I could just be trying to cover up for, bad writing.
Yeah. Long story short, one way or another, whether it's, any
We're
of the
talking
theories
about it.
we talked about or something else, I think by the time Kang Dynasty is done with, and maybe Secret Wars, depending if he's still in that, although I have a suspicion there might be a whole nother villain for that movie. But anyways, I think people are going to change their mind about how Kang was or wasn't used properly in Quantumania.
Mm-hmm.
But
2 out of 2 for Jonathan Majors.
sheesh.
I also think Kang the Conqueror might be He Who Remains. But anyway,
Sheesh, you think they're going to pull a Uno reverse card on us?
I think the whole time we might think that this go one of two ways. This Kang, we think he's dead, and we don't see him again until like Kang Dynasty, and that's when he wins and becomes like He Who Remains. But this is when he's using Goliath, so I think that might go into Secret Wars, is him using Goliath to take everybody else out. Which, because in Loki, he's like, I'll end up right back here. Like, and when you kill him, he's like, see you soon. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense, because like I feel like that could, maybe go down that route. But it's either gonna do that or he comes back sooner. And he's like, oh, y'all thought it was dead, huh? Y'all ever heard of Kang Dynasty? We on the way.
Yeah, there are just so many possibilities of what could happen. Like, it's actually crazy. It honestly, like, more so than anything we have seen or probably will see, to be honest, in terms of like the possibilities of what they could do, just because of like the multiversal aspect to it, right? And like the time travel and the variants and everything. Like, it's just quite literally anything you can imagine could happen. Like, honestly, it'll be interesting to see what they ultimately decide to do. But yeah,
anyway,
that's
probably move on. We gotta get them out.
That's
Anyway,
definitely a whole
no, I
thing,
think generated good
yeah,
discussion. But you know what? Hugh Jackman, new Wolverine. He has revealed that in part of Deadpool 3, there will be a dual role. So we'll see at least 2 variants of Wolverine in the movie. Which I kind of figured anyways, if they were gonna go that route, time traveling to somehow Wolverine is in the movie,
Hey, bro, if Deadpool was fucking with the timeline at the end of the last movie, dude.
Yeah, maybe he's Kang. Is there a Deadpool Kang?
Oh no, please no. He'd be the one who wins.
Yeah, he literally would.
I'm gonna guess that the two roles he's talking about are, one of them is like a Wolverine.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, either that or like one of the early X-Men movies. Like that timeline before it was reset with Days of Future Past. And, like that would be one
Is that
variant, and
how
then the
maybe they'll fucking show the actual Wolverine costume? Like he times one of the variants time jumps and it's him in the actual
other,
like comic book suit.
too. That could be too, actually.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, he posted a picture of
with the
comic
mask.
accurate Wolverine helmet, so
Yeah.
I would imagine they'd use it.
Can you imagine it when like Deadpool's interaction with Wolverine, not in the costume, be like, "Nah, you're not Wolverine. I'm looking for the guy in the yellow."
Guess whose balls I had to fondle to get my own movie? Rhymes with Pulverine.
Yeah, all I know is that they're definitely gonna give us what we want to see. That's all I'll say.
Oh yeah, if anybody's gonna do it, it's Ryan Reynolds.
Whether it's something that we know we want to see or something we haven't even thought of, they'll give us what we want to see. That's all I can say. But yeah, that'll be cool.
Wolverine.
All right.
What's next?
I'll tell you what's next. Relatively new scoofer KC Walsh is claiming that Marvel has added Eternals 2, Doctor Strange 3, and Shang-Chi 2 to their production calendar.
Sheesh.
If true, this would mean each of these films are now in the very early stages of development. So Shang-Chi, additionally, is rumored to feature multiple Kang variants, as the 10 rings are somehow connected to the villain. Oh, interesting. What if the real villain's the time chair?
Yeah, it wasn't Kang. It was the time chair. The whole time. He was.
They gotta
it's
power
the
that bad
parasite.
bitch up.
It's Venom.
It's oh no.
Or what's the one? What's the one dude that's the like the king of the symbiotes?
Oh,
No.
dude! Did you guys realize? I just seen this today. Did you guys realize when you watch that movie the different not symbiotes? I still think when we're on Ant-Man.
Okay.
I'll tell you guys later.
Oh, you can say
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I was waiting for. I was interested.
Oh, no. Did you guys realize in the Ant-Man movie that what's that little tribe they run into down there with the little slime dudes?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, each different one of those guys were a different color that represented the Infinity Stones.
Oh, really? I didn't even.
Yeah, like they were like sentient Infinity Stones. It was kind of.
Huh.
I would have never put two and two together if I didn't see like someone's little speculation video or like confirmation
I'd have to look into that.
Yeah, same. That's the first time hearing about that as well.
I did know that the guy that played the goo guy that was always obsessed with holes. That was the Baba Yaga guy in the first two movies.
Is it really?
Yeah. Something Dalmatio or something like that. I can't remember his first name.
David.
Yeah. Dustismalchin or something like that.
However you say his name.
Yeah, but he was he's the Baba Yaga. He's that guy, but he played the goo guy this time.
Makes sense.
Still miss his friends though. Where's T.I. at? Where's he been?
Sheesh.
Yeah, dude, he's still talking the blimp.
Anywho.
But yeah, about that. I mean, yeah, I guess that'll be cool to have. The only thing is though, with that, would you say Shang-Chi 2, Eternals 2, and Doctor Strange 3. I mean,
Yes, sir.
because like all of those are gonna have to come out before Secret Wars. If true,
From what I've heard, those are like gonna be like integral to their story that they want to tell now.
right? Oh,
Like Shang-Chi is like before King Dynasty, because I know they want to get Doctor Strange out first.
right.
But because it's Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi, and what else? Was it Eternals?
Yeah.
Eternals.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like they got like a storyline that is leading up across all. Yeah, no, go on. Sorry.
I was just saying that like how are they gonna fit all those movies in before King Dynasty and Secret Wars? Because there's only, as of right now, there's only one currently open spot for like a movie release before King Dynasty. So I mean, one of those movies can easily fit into that, but I don't know how they'd be able to do the other two before Secret Wars, unless they delay it, which could be a pretty
Probably.
strong possibility, I guess. Like just delay it by like half a year or something, and then just have those two movies happen before then. I don't know, but because that's the only way I'm thinking how that could happen is if they delay it by like half a year. Honestly, maybe even a year they'd have to delay it by, but I don't know. We'll see. See what happens.
That we will.
So it's interesting you brought up symbiote there, because
Okay.
one particular symbiote
Tangent.
that is linked to an individual that plays the character here. I'm trying to see how far I can stretch this. Anyways,
No, you good? Keep going.
Tom Hardy, right, confirms pre-production for Venom 3 has now started.
Oh.
So
Great.
now be
I wonder if it'll be PG-13 again.
yeah.
It will be.
Honestly, if they're doing Deadpool 3 rated R, why can't we have a rated R Venom?
Because it's
It'd be good.
and not Marvel.
They just want to watch the world burn.
And
so while the world burns, it's also been confirmed that Steven Yeun has been casted in the Thunderbolts movie. Practically everyone is claiming that he will be playing the main villain Sentry, although this part isn't officially confirmed as of yet. So
it's funny because he's a very similar character to his Invincible character.
I've actually, ever since this came out, I've actually been really curious to see what you guys think about this. I'm gonna let you go before I say my thoughts.
I think he'd be awesome as Sentry. But I mean, give Steven Yeun anything. Oh, especially MCU. I'm excited. I don't know what else to say.
I was waiting if Ben was gonna say anything.
I mean, I have no idea what Sentry is as a character.
He's essentially.
Is he basically I'm sorry. Is he basically Superman?
Sorta. He's a bad guy that becomes a good guy. He's got a.
Oh, okay.
He's got a past.
So he's Ultron.
I mean,
basically
he's not Ultron.
Basically, think of like Moon Knight in terms of him having split personalities.
Okay.
However, he only has two personalities, but he has an evil aspect. That's called the Void, and that's like basically like his, like the main villain that like he goes up against, which is basically just like him, but cool. I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's not the easiest to explain. but as to how he could fight himself. But he's basically any superpower you can imagine. He basically can do. He's kind of crazy overpowered in the comics. It's probably not going to be like that in the movies because yeah, literally the only way he can be defeated or even hurt in the comics is if he allows himself to be defeated. Which I mean, I guess they could, work that into like the movie, like that's how he's defeated or whatever. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But anyways, I don't really know how to feel about this if it's true. Well, okay, to be fair, we know for a fact that Steven Yeun is cast in the movie. That part is definitely confirmed.
Just don't know who the fuck he's playing.
We just don't know with 100% certainty that he's playing Sentry as of yet. Although it seems like literally everyone and their moms are saying that he's.
Don't they think that's gonna be the bad guy for Thunderbolts?
Yeah, he's apparently, according to the rumors, he's gonna start off as a member of the team, and then, similar to the comics, he's gonna kind of go crazy, and his evil personality is gonna take over, and yeah, they gotta figure out a way to stop him. But yeah, I don't really know if this is true. I don't really know how to feel about it, because while I love Steven Yeun as an actor, and I have, obviously been
R.I.P. going
waiting to see him in the MCU as something, I don't know if this is the best role for him, or the best role that he could have played in the MCU.
What role would you want him to play?
So,
and don't say an Asian guy.
Shang-Chi. No, I'm just kidding.
Shang-Chi's brother, except he's not even the same ethnicity. He's not Chinese. I'm pretty sure Steven Yeun's Korean, isn't he?
I have no clue, actually.
No, I mean he's American, but I mean
right, but
ethnicity-wise.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know, like, if I could say anyone like off the top of my head that I could, say would be a better fit. I will say that before, so it was confirmed that he was casted before, it was revealed, or I guess rumored, that he was going to be playing Sentry. I saw a lot of people were saying that there's a good shot he could be playing Amadeus Cho in the comics, which, I mean, that would be pretty sick.
You said Amadeus Cho?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see it, but again,
Asian what kind of a character is he?
Fucking pinhole.
But the thing
he's,
is,
sorry.
I was just gonna say, the thing is though, like you gotta have, like, whenever they do introduce that character, it's got to be an Asian actor that plays him, right?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just fucking with you. He's a Hulk character.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like
also known as Brawn.
Yeah. Very very smart,
Korean born,
very smart dude.
That would make sense because he is Korean.
Okay, well.
There's a difference.
Sheesh.
Asian's a fucking blanket statement. Do you know how many fucking different ethnicities are in Asia?
True. It's a lot.
Hundreds.
But yeah.
I wish I was kidding. Actually, I don't wish I was kidding. I don't know why I would say that. I'm not kidding, is what I meant to say.
But yeah, I'm sure they'll, I'm sure he'll do great if this does turn out to be true, and they'll find. I feel like though they'll have to change the character a bit, or at least like the character's backstory a bit, maybe. Maybe like how his powers work and stuff like that. If they do go this route, but I feel like they could definitely like kind of tweak some things, so that I guess like he would make a little bit more sense for the role, and I'm sure it'll turn out to be just fine. But
that's fine.
The other thing too, though, it's like, I mean, Sentry, like most, characters that have super strength, and in the comics, he's kind of jacked, he's pretty jacked, and
You telling me
Are
Steven
we-
Yeun can't put some muscle on?
Yeah, dude, if
He's-
Chris Hemsworth can go through that godly workout, Stephen Yeun can too. If fucking Ant-Man can, he can too.
You're telling me. Hold on. You're telling me Will Poulter can turn into a hunk to play Adam Warlock, but we can't get Steven Yeun to put a little muscle on?
Okay, it's a difference though. Will Poulter is 6'3".
So
He has.
you know how tall Sylvester Stallone is? He's like 5'5".
Okay.
It's a movie.
Okay, I don't think he's actually that short, is he?
He's super short. Hold on. Sylvester Stallone height. 5'8".
Okay, well that's not 5'5".
Oh, I'm sorry, 3
yeah,
inches.
that's-
Oh, dude,
That's the average height, dude. Nah,
This guy,
you
dude.
went from being 3 inches below
This guy,
average to
dude.
the average height. The average male height, dude. That is a
I'm
big
sorry.
difference.
I'm sorry, y'all shorties are upset that
Okay.
Sylvester Stallone's not tall.
Okay, but anyways, I should have said he had a better frame for being able to put on more muscle. I guess you're right.
Whatever,
Height
dude.
really doesn't. I guess height
Nah,
really
you're
doesn't matter,
racist.
but-
Yeah,
Only
it's-
white guys can
gosh.
put muscle on.
Come on, dude.
You just said it, dude. Roll the clip.
All I'm saying is that as a fellow as a fellow slim boy, okay, it's not the easiest to put on that.
Yeah, because you never had
So,
fucking
You
Mickey
never-
bucks, dude.
yeah, that's true. Actually, I
I could throw $1
definitely-
million at the problem, dude.
I'm
That
telling
is
you what,
true.
man. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but I got some ideas on how you can pack the pounds.
Donuts for your hamburger buns.
Listen, I'm thinking like
Sheesh.
state eligible activities.
Yeah, let me just call up Christian Bale real quick and see how he was able to or how he's able to pack and lose so much
I'll
weight.
call
in,
him up.
like, a
It's
given
Chris.
amount of time.
Honestly,
Chris
didn't you
Lee,
do that
yeah.
though like 4 times?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's done it. a
Jesus, that
ridiculous amount
can't
of
be
time.
good for the body.
It's probably not. It's probably not. And when I say probably, it's definitely not. It's
Yeah,
definitely
that's
not good.
definitely the guy you need to call.
That's what I need to- like, yeah, I know you probably have like you've probably taken
Oops.
years off your life by doing that so many times, but tell me how you did it, because
Yeah, him and
I
Russell Crowe. Actually, I don't know about Russell Crowe, but he once was a slim boy. Now he's a big boy.
well, who was it? It was this is the last thing I'm gonna say because we're getting way too off topic, but I think it was Tom Hardy said that when he had to bulk up for the role of Bane in The Dark Knight Rises,
He
it
just said it.
even for that, like he said he already like because he only did that once, like for that role, and he said even having did that one time, like he already noticed like his health was like being like drastically negatively affected by that. So just because like he had to like gain so much weight in a short amount of time. But
Can you imagine if someone had a bulk up like that? They're literally just consuming just huge tubs of GNC protein powder and whey and shit.
yeah,
Like
it's
every
I don't
single
know.
day, hour.
Cruise.
Bro, yeah. I seen a really funny meme about the word Harry the other day, but I can't remember what it was, or else I would have bring it up at this point. But anyways, yeah, we could talk a lot about getting fat
Okay.
or skinny.
But yeah,
Uh,
I mean, it'd be cool to see. Long story short, but
I mean, if you want to get some sort of belly on you, I mean, you could be a drinker. Get a beer gut,
Okay.
just like Thor did.
You want me
And
to
we
put the
got
hammer
Daddy
down?
Thor.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can move on.
That's all I had for my list.
Oh, forgot. Oh, Evan, do you want to take over?
Jeez.
yeah, give me 1 second.
No worries, no worries.
Alright, dude, I'm trying to read and you're just this guy.
I'm trolling.
Alright, it's been reported that a Batman Beyond animated film was in early development before James Gunn and Peter Safran took over DC. I did actually see this. Since it hasn't been officially canceled yet, there's a decent chance the movie will still happen as an Elseworlds project. According to some reports, it was being written by the same writer of Fast 9, which would be James Wan, or is it a different person? Actually, it was a different person, right? Or was Fast 9 his last one?
Daniel Casey is the writer who was doing it, but James Wan, I don't remember what the last one he directed, but
Okay. Oh, I see, writer. Okay. Yeah. Don't care that much. Cool.
hopefully it still happens. That's all I can
Yeah.
say.
I don't got much to say about it.
I do think that the fact that it hasn't been canceled yet, when they've already canceled some stuff that was, in development beforehand, probably bodes well for it potentially happening as of now, but I guess we'll have to see.
Okay. Anybody, you got anything to say about this, Ben?
I mean, finally, right? Jesus.
I mean, they've been messing up their bread and butter with the animated movies for a minute. I don't know why they don't release them in theaters, but
Facts.
yes, I agree. Okay, moving on.
Oh, okay.
It's a little more interesting news, or at least the Batman project I'm more interested in. Filming on the Batman Part 2 will reportedly start in November of this year, with casting expected to be finalized and revealed sometime over the summer. Jamie Campbell Bower, not really anything to do with this actually. Stranger Things' Vecna actor recently stated that he wants to play Scarecrow in Matt Reeves' Batman universe. That's not really a thing. Oh, why is it in the article? Why is that in the article?
I think they're just like adding it as like another thing, because like
Yeah, dude, I want to play fucking the Hulk. Okay. It's fucking like, well, I'd like to. I'm sure you could ask how many big name actors. Like, hey, would you like to play Scarecrow? Yeah, I'd like to be Scarecrow. All right, put it in the article.
I think
But
I think it was
I
more or
know
less
I know what they're getting at. I just think it's stupid. Like, because it's not. Hello?
hello, what happened? Are you
Hello?
guys there?
My mic unplugged.
Okay, no worries.
I was gonna say that boy was going in if his mic got unplugged.
I thought the stream crashed. I thought I DC. I didn't know what happened, dude. I was like,
But yeah, no, I get like what they're trying to say. Like, oh, maybe he is gonna be playing, but it's a non-story, that part of it. But I do like the Batman Part 2 reportedly starting to film in November. I'm excited to see who is cast. And yeah, you guys got anything to add about that?
yeah,
I mean, it's
it'll
gonna
be
be cool to
interesting.
see.
I mean, we'll probably. I think they said the summer, right? is when they plan on having the cast like finalized and announced. But
Hmm.
we'll probably hear honestly like before even then, um, like unofficially that is like who's like cast and I guess like any new people that are joining the cast because we already know the main cast I guess. But um, yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I think well he's got to be either completely done or close to being done with the script. If they're going to be starting to in November, and if that's the case, as it relates to the Jamie Campbell Bower wanting to play Scarecrow, unless Scarecrow was like already in the script, I highly doubt he's going to be in this movie. Um, and I mean, I guess there's a chance that he could be like in the next one if they do a third one, but I think at least if I remember correctly, I think Matt Reeves said that he wanted to do um villains that either we haven't seen in live action before or we haven't seen in a while. Am I making that up or did he say something like that? I can't remember.
I think so. I don't remember.
Um but yeah, if that's the case too, I can't imagine because I mean, you know, Christopher Nolan and Scarecrow and the Batman Begins, which I mean I guess was still like a decade ago, but um yeah, I don't think unless it's like, you know, a background like character in Arkham or something like that, I don't think Scarecrow will probably be in the Matt Reeves Batman movies. But I mean, who knows? Who knows what'll happen? But that is all. That's all I got.
Well, if we got nothing else to add, we're still going to stay in the DC realm, but a little more uncertain. Um, Shazam 2's director revealed that since the Shazam films won't interfere with the future DCU plans, more Shazam films could still happen as Elseworld projects as long as the upcoming sequel performs well enough. However, the movie is currently on track for one of DC's worst opening weekend sales. It's reportedly tracking to make even less than Black Adam's numbers, which was considered a failure by Warner Brothers.
Whoa, where are they getting those numbers from?
Yeah, I have no clue. I don't even know. When does it come out?
I thought people liked Shazam.
I like the first one.
Was the second one ass?
I don't think it's not out.
No, I
Oh,
think it's either this week or next week. It comes out. I think it's next week.
I could have
But
swore there was three of Shazams.
March 17th is when it comes out. Bro, this isn't
Okay,
out
so
for
next
more than
week.
10 days. They're going strictly off pre-sales. Like in this, I don't know, because Shazam is as someone who's worked at a movie theater for over a decade, um, those are the type of movies that have legs and that get people that aren't necessarily looking for that movie per se. Because, you know, there's so many people that come in with their kids or a week, 2 weeks later when their friends told them, hey, Shazam was pretty good. Like that kind of thing. Because that's what happened with the first one. And I don't think the opening night numbers were great for the first Shazam either. I could be wrong about that, but I don't know. This is what I feel like. I haven't seen the movie, no fucking clue if it's good or bad. But based on the first movie, this seems like one of those movies that is not as big opening night as it is for the next couple weeks up to
Right.
next couple months.
Right. Yeah, so I don't think they were talking about like the overall projected sales. There I think they were just saying like for the opening weekend it's projected to be one of the lowest
Yeah, but by what
numbers
they're
like
saying in the article, they're making it seem like that alone is what's gonna ruin the movie instead of like it being good the rest of the next couple weeks.
right. Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Some of these articles I don't like.
I don't know how they get those numbers cuz you're right. I mean like pre-sales don't really mean a whole lot. Um so I feel like there has to be more that they look at that goes into it, but whatever they look at, it's usually pretty accurate because from what I saw, like before Ant-Man came out, from what I saw, they projected it to have like a pretty decent like opening weekend, which it did, and the numbers that they projected were turned out to be actually pretty similar. And then they also projected the crazy drop off in week 2, which also turned out to happen as well. So I don't know how they're I don't know what they look at to predict that stuff, but
I mean, I feel like it's easier to do that for the 20-somethingth MCU movie and the third Ant-Man movie, because the first Shazam was an anomaly in the
true,
DCU.
actually, yeah.
And I don't know. I just feel like these kind of articles write shit off before they even come out, and it affects the actual outcome of the movie. Like people going to see it. Like
Right.
they're putting out, hey, you have to go see it if you want this to be good. By the way, we don't think it's going to be good. That's essentially what this article was.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we'll see. I
That's
mean,
all I got.
like you said, the first Shazam was like definitely. I mean, it didn't like in terms of like box office, it didn't like pop off, like crazy.
Yeah, it was
But
an Avatar.
yeah, but it was definitely more than they thought it was gonna make. So could there be a chance that happens with this one as well? I mean, I'd say there's a decent chance it could. But
I think that's the big difference between what moviegoers go to see movies for and why movie distribution companies make movies.
yeah,
Because at least I know we go to movies to enjoy a movie, see good writing, good editing, good cinematography. They make movies to make money. So they don't necessarily care how good a movie is if it doesn't make money, especially Warner Brothers.
yeah,
So like Shazam 2 could have a great fucking script. It could have a very like heartwarming story like about family and power and responsibility, that kind of thing. But if it doesn't, compared to the sales that like say like an Ant-Man 3 has, then they're gonna consider it a failure. And it just kind of sucks that that's how the industry is, and that's how it's been, and it's probably how it's always going to be. And that's how we don't get some of these movies that could be great. Like, can you imagine if, because of something like this, we never got like everything everywhere all at once?
right, yeah,
Because it wasn't a sure bet. It wasn't this is gonna give us this much money opening weekend. I feel like we're just missing out on movies like that because of this.
sure,
But
yeah.
that's more of a movie industry grudge than anything to do with Shazam or the DCU or Warner Brothers or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest and final takeaway for me with this is basically kind of what you said is I don't know like what number they have in their minds, like that they
Yeah,
are
like
expecting it or
what
want it
do
to
they
hit.
need
But
for it to be considered? Because I feel like that number will keep going up every time you ask them.
yeah. But long story short, whatever that number is, if this movie doesn't hit that, they're probably not gonna make any
Oh
more
yeah, for
Shazam
sure. No,
movies.
yeah,
Especially since
yeah,
it's not technically a part of the new DCU, right? Like
yeah.
going forward. So
But the fact that they've said something about it, that it's not necessarily 100% off the table,
right,
is
yeah.
better than almost everything
Oh, for sure.
else, because they've canceled literally everything
Yeah.
else.
That's true. They have, yeah.
So I mean, at least there's not Wonder Woman 3 happening. Although the second Wonder Woman was.
Yeah. We don't talk about
Anyways,
it.
first one was really good, and
Yeah.
it sucks because it has 3 actors that I really like.
I know, dude, I know.
It's got oh my god, I can't think of her name. Why can't I think of Wonder Woman's name?
Oh, Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot, holy shit! Why did I wanted to say Gina? I'm like, nope, that's not it. Uh, her, Pablo Pascal and Chris Pine. That should have been enough to like carry the movie as long as it had a good story. And it was just and Kristen Wiig too. Can't forget about Kristen Wiig.
Yeah.
But no, they were like, what if we took a story and then just made it bad?
It's surprising too because it was the same creative team behind the first movie, like same director, same writer, like.
Because like the first Wonder Woman was so like, I don't know, it was very connected emotionally to the character, and like you could tell the people that made it gave a shit about Wonder Woman and the character and the story that was being told. But I don't know. I don't know what happens to the second one.
We may never know. Who knows?
Maybe they were like, "Oh, we fucking blew it out of the water the first time. It's gonna be easy."
Yeah, they just didn't try. They're like, whatever. You know, it's fine. We got it.
What if the bad guy makes all your wishes come true?
Was the good
Fucking
guy.
what, dude? Why?
What if we brought Steve Trevor back, but he wasn't actually back? He was just possessing the body of someone else, which is actually weird when you think about it, but we're not really going to focus on that part. He's back.
It's like, how about we tell a Wonder Woman story without that fucking nonsense? Like how the geopolitical climate in Themyscira deals with the rest of the. I'd love to see that. Like House of the Dragon made so much money. Like you can make money with geopolitics.
I mean, they are making the show about that though, so that's good at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Now they are. Yeah. No. Definitely.
Yeah.
After they struck out a couple times.
Right.
But anyways, we gotta move on.
Yes.
It's already 11. Oh yeah, I'm still up. A new rumor that's being shared by multiple sources claims that the Flash's post-credit scene has been changed to show Barry meeting George Clooney's Batman. Flash movie will screen 2 months before its theatrical release at CinemaCon on April 25th. If that's just like a cool little post-credits thing just to throw George, like a little nod to George Clooney, I'm all for it. That's cool.
I think it is.
Because I don't think it's, because I can't, because with how everything is literally just scrapped after this movie, this can't be like anything that's like setting up anything for the future.
Yeah.
But I think that's cool. I don't know why people are sharing that shit. I don't understand those kind of those kind of spoilers, because like that ruins the entire concept of that post-credit scene. Knowing it beforehand completely ruins it.
Right.
And knowing that, I don't know why people just go. I know why, but like it's just so fucking stupid. Because, like, if I go and watch The Flash and now I see George Clooney, I'm not going to be nearly as excited or hyped as I would have been if I would have just seen it naturally.
Yeah.
But comic book movies got to have a story.
Yeah.
Who wrote this one?
Yeah, to be fair,
I'm about to write down the names for some of these fucking stories, dude.
For who?
If they put names. The writers for some of these stories.
Yeah. But yeah, I think because I've literally seen like seven different like possible end credits scene scenarios that have been reportedly quote unquote leaked or like spoiled or whatever over the last.
That's the first
months,
I've seen of it, of any of them.
But yeah, I was
probably because I'm only on Marvel spoilers.
Right. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there because this is because of that. This is far from guaranteed to happen, but it is a possibility.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that'd be cool. I like George Clooney.
And what was the other thing?
Not so much his Batman, but
right, yeah. Oh, it was the screening at CinemaCon. Yeah, that is weird. I thought that they're showing it literally 2 months before it comes out in theaters like that. But the only thing I can think of is maybe because they're expecting it to do so well, they're hoping that that will even further, like, the reception, the reviews that come from the CinemaCon screening will, like, be so good that it'll like hype it up even more and make the sales go up, like, when it does come out. I don't know. Like, I don't know what their reasoning is, but
yeah, no, that'd be cool.
We'll
I like George Clooney. Go Batman.
Sheesh.
Those movies were something else that's different,
They
but
were.
it'd be just cool to see him.
They definitely were.
But yeah, we got more Batman news, which is more. I should say substantial because it is. It's been rumored again that Ben Affleck is now the front runner to direct the upcoming Bat Family DCU film The Brave and the Bold. When asked on Twitter, James Gunn curiously avoided the question and did not confirm nor deny this claim. So when I say, like, was it just some Twitter user asked him a question in a thread and he just never addressed it, or was he actually talking to people? Because that can mean anything.
So
when asked on Twitter, you know how many times people have been asked things on Twitter by thousands of people and never give an answer?
Yeah, what I think happened was someone had asked him that and something else, and he responded to it, and he only answered the one question and not that question. So people are like, wait, why he took the time to comment that, but he didn't answer both questions? So does that mean that the other one was true and he didn't want to like say anything about it to confirm nor deny? Because he's like, if stuff isn't true, like, he has no problem just straight up denying it, as we've seen on Twitter. So yeah, I mean, is there a chance it's nothing? It means nothing. I mean, yeah, but he has been pretty active on denying things legitimacy on Twitter recently. So maybe there's something to it, maybe not. Who knows? But
I sure don't.
Damn, got him.
But yeah, no, that'd be. I think he's a good director.
Yep.
I think he was a better Batman than he's credit for. But
true.
It is what it is.
And he never got to direct the one Batman movie, so
yeah. But yeah, no, that's all I got to say about that.
Fair enough.
If I want to move on to the next.
Yep.
Oh my god, we gotta talk about Aquaman again. The most recent Aquaman 2 test screening received the lowest audience test screening rating of any DC film to date. That's fucking saying something. Some people reportedly even left the screening early, which rarely ever happens. Due to this, the chances of Jason Momoa changing roles to play Lobo in the DCU is now reportedly even more likely to happen. Yeah, no fucking shit. Nobody was gonna, the second you didn't take
dude,
Amber Heard immediately out of that movie. That's why I'm not seeing it.
Wait, what happened?
Even if they cut her out of most of it and she's still in it, like, I'm not gonna go see Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's just essentially what I feel like. I just don't like the optics on that, because if it was a guy who even had a hint of an accusation like that, that shit would have been just taken away. Like, he wouldn't have been able to act anymore. Like, no more like contracts, like shit like that. And the fact that we know for a fact that these things happened, and they were just like, yeah, but she's part of the story. It's like, you motherfucker, if you don't recast some other redhead, like, nobody's going to Aquaman 2 to see Amber Heard. I'm going to see Jason Momoa be a fish guy. Like,
oh, what do you mean, dude? Johnny Depp definitely didn't get cut from the Fantastic Beasts movies and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Exactly, dude.
Because of something that may or may not have happened. That definitely didn't happen.
But
But yeah, that's
what am I gonna do?
that that, like you said, that definitely is saying something if that received the lowest test audience score of any DC movie.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's
Like Green Lantern was a DC,
it's,
and that was great.
it is weird though because the last test screen, and I think we covered this on one of the podcasts, the last test screen they had for this movie, which was like 3-4 months ago, something like that, it was like towards the end of last year. They said it was actually like pretty decent, like it went pretty well. Which makes this even more confusing. Like I don't know what the hell they did. They did in a movie between then.
They put
and those
more
couple
Amber
months,
Heard
but it's actually
What
just.
if we expanded her role?
It's actually just
Aquawoman,
Amber
the
Heard.
movie.
Like Jason Momoa's not even in the movie. Like there's no Aquaman. It's just that, but I don't. The only thing we know for sure that they changed, was that they took out Ben Affleck's Batman and Michael Keaton's Batman.
That's dumb.
Because they I don't think they had like crazy like big roles in the movie, but they were both originally in it. They were both since cut, but other than that, we don't really know what else changed on the movie. So I don't know. I don't know why it's. I don't know why like the test screen audience hated it so much, but something tells me we will find out when the movie comes out. But well, I won't find out. At least not
When
right away.
or if. It comes,
Actually,
I feel like that movie's been coming out for a year and a half, dude.
That's true. That's
So is this like a Batman movie coming out like before or after Batman into the Batverse?
What Batman movie are you
I was
talking
gonna say
about?
you gotta be more specific because I don't.
The Batman Flash movie.
Oh,
So the
okay,
Flash.
so the Flash movie that's coming out?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Is this
the end.
before or after?
This is like the tipping point. Like this is the end of
Oh,
the
before
Snyderverse
it goes into okay.
it wipes the fucking board. The Flash
Okay.
movie, essentially.
How many Batmans do you think are going to die in that film?
At least one. And it's going to be Ben Affleck's hope to ever be Batman again.
Sheesh, get this man some flowers.
He doesn't deserve this, though, dude. Let him go fucking be an award-winning director somewhere.
Can you imagine if Ben Affleck directs?
I swear
who's Ben?
to God, Ben.
Ben Affleck's one of his best friends is Matt Damon. We could potentially get
Oh,
back.
really?
Yeah,
They know each other?
Yeah.
Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are friends?
Yeah.
They never mention it ever?
Crazy.
That's crazy,
You
dude.
guys are capping.
Captain.
You
We get a
dropping-
Damon back.
You dropping
You telling
some
me
fresh
my-
leaks on
my-
the-
My brother from another mother?
back.
That was a terrible Boston accent, by the way. That's terrible, Mark. Marky Mark.
I thought you were using a Mark Wahlberg voice changer, actually.
Say hi to your mother for me. I was in TED. I used to be racist. I might still
Yeah.
be.
I'm with Thunderbird.
Wahlburgers. Come to Wahlburgers. I used to call people the N-word. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey,
Pain
yo.
and gain.
Anywho, before we get into Mark Wahlberg's past, how
How about Transformers?
To the Lord of
The
my
Wings.
God. Warner Brothers recently confirmed reports that they plan to make more. You heard it. You heard it right. More Lord of the Rings movies. God, please don't. They reportedly wanted to create a Star Wars style franchise with these films. They're also
Sheesh.
currently talking with Peter Jackson about returning
my
to either
Lord.
direct or be creatively involved with these projects in some capacity. Man, for as mid as that series was, they really want to add on to it. Which is, they had the same problem HBO had with the end of Game of Thrones. Like, great acting, great set pieces, great, visuals, great sound design. That writing. needs a little work. Some of the things didn't make sense, but you can say that about any show. I don't know about more Lord of the Rings. What else? What else they got to tell?
So they didn't.
Tolkien doesn't have any more to say. They made one book into 3 movies.
He does if they turn him into an AI, dude.
Bro, don't even
turn him
start
into an
AI.
AI. He's gonna give him
down
some
the
fresh
Blue Eyes
ideas.
White Dragon.
They're bringing him back, dude. They're bringing his consciousness back, so he can give him more ideas. But no, they didn't say specifically as to what type of movies are. It doesn't sound like they're gonna be remaking, like the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit trilogy.
I don't know what stories they're gonna tell.
So
hopefully they're new, interesting ones.
So I don't know if you guys remember, but it was rumored that this was going to be the case like a month or two ago, and along with that, they said that their plan was to make like spin-off movies about like certain characters. So that might be the route they go. They haven't confirmed that part, but because that's like literally the only other thing that I could think of that would make sense as to like what movies they could do. Because if they're not remaking Lord of the Rings, I mean, I guess they could just do something like brand new that takes place like way before or after. But aside from that, the only other thing they could really do is to just make solo spin-off movies about like any of the characters, like Gandalf, whoever they want. But I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. But yeah, actually, I don't know if you said if you want it to happen or not, but I'm kind of on the fence because like I love
fucking Snoozeville on it.
I love Lord of the Rings, but
Damn.
I don't know. We need to see more in that regard. But, I mean, if it's true that they get Peter Jackson involved, though, I mean, that will at least bring my excitement level up a little bit more. But I just don't know.
Peter Jackson, eh? Never made a bad movie, huh?
Nope. Never did.
Not one.
A lie.
No, dude.
I can't lie to you.
I mean, most of them are great, but he's never made a bad one. Never.
All right. You got
that was it for me.
Else, or you good? All right. Well, I got just a couple things here to close out the podcast, and then
Mortal Engines.
We will be
Excuse
done.
me.
What?
Nothing.
Sheesh.
Mortal Engines 3?
Mortal Engines.
Borderlands 3.
Peter Jackson made it. It wasn't that good.
Cap. Dude, you don't gotta lie to the
Cap.
audience.
Well, watch Mortal Engines right now and tell me it's not that good.
Sheesh. I'm trolling.
Because it's not.
I'm trolling. Definitely was. It was something. It was something.
But yeah, let's move on. I got a whole bunch of time.
Yeah, no worries. Well, last couple things won't take too long, but yeah, the first of which we're gonna kind of be going backwards a little bit, back to the Marvel train of news, and the first of those is that apparently, gotta go back up. Yeah, the Cosmic Circus is claiming that the main overall conflict spanning between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars is going to be Kang versus Doctor Strange. And apparently the reason for that is they're gonna kind of put like, they're gonna try to give Kang like a somewhat like real, I guess not like realistic, but like more of like a makes sense, like borderline heroic reason for going after Strange and in turn the Avengers, because apparently Kang is going to be trying to, well, I don't know how they're going to do it. He's either going to be stopping Strange from causing more incursions, or maybe he's like trying to kill Strange so that those incursions never happened or something like that. I don't know, but long story short, they're claiming that it's going to have something to do with Kang trying to, like, viewing himself as the hero, trying to stop Doctor Strange from causing more incursions. As we know, he's already starting to cause, based off the ending of Multiverse of Madness. But yeah, if true, that's it's definitely an interesting way to go about it, although it kind of contradicts some other recent rumors and and all that we've heard, like the who was it, the My Time to Shine hello on Twitter. That scooper, they flat out said that this was untrue, and they didn't explain why it wasn't true or like what's actually going to happen, but I'm assuming it has something to do with what they claimed that we talked about on the last podcast, and that Spider-Man is going to be like the lead character for Kang Dynasty. So if that turns out to be true, that definitely goes against, Kang versus Doctor Strange being the main overall like conflict that happens
Well, that
in Kang
doesn't
Dynasty.
necessarily mean that it won't be Kang, because when I read that and when I heard that, I heard that as Spider-Man's going to be the main like character of the movie, he's going to be the first bill, like top bill, on like the cast list.
Right.
But I don't think he's going to be like the leader or anything of the Avengers or anything,
No.
or like whatever team. So I think that still could be like that Doctor Strange, even if it's solely, like not solely, but mainly following Peter Parker. Sorry, Spider-Man. I have no idea who Peter Parker is. If it's following Spider-Man. But yeah, who knows? I don't know.
I will say too, after My Time to Shine hello, basically called out on Twitter saying that was false, as I guess kind of like, well, I don't know if it could be classified as proof, but like further, I guess, like support for their argument, that is the Cosmic Circus, their original point about Kang versus Doctor Strange. They said that the same source that gave them the information about Secret Wars getting delayed, which, to be fair, they were the first ones to like kind of say that, like even like a few weeks before it was officially revealed. They said that the same source that told them that is the source that told them this about, Kang versus Doctor Strange,
and we'll never know if he's lying or not until the movie comes out.
I was gonna say,
and even if the
long.
movie comes out, we'll never know if he was lying about this, being told this.
Oh yeah, that's true. But yeah,
that's the thing about, at least with like the Marvel scoopers and stuff. It's like sometimes like they're on point, but I have yet to see a scooper that's like right most of the time, or like that, and like not even like they were right but they changed it. It's just they weren't right at all. Like whoever they got their info, they were either lying or or like had no fucking insight on anything to do with the movie. But I mean, like, I guess that comes with that job. That I mean, fuck having that job. Because like, even if you are told these things, people like me are gonna be like, yeah, but like you're wrong like 90% of the time. So
right. Yeah, I usually try to only stick with, unless like, sometimes I include stuff from other scoopers just because it's like essentially going viral on the internet. So I was like, okay, like we might as well talk about it. But most of the times I try to include scoopers that are, right more times than they are wrong. Like My Time to Shine hello. Like as far as I can tell, like the only thing so far that they've like gotten wrong are stuff that has later been proven was true but was changed, right? like somewhere along the development process. So, but even then, like that's the thing. Like even if they are true at the time, that doesn't mean that it's going to be true by the time the
Mm-hmm.
movie comes out. You know, so. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes. And we'll move on. So the last thing for Marvel is that Jeff Snyder is reporting that Tom Holland is set to make a live action, yes, live action cameo appearance in the next Spider-Verse movie coming out this summer. Across the
I've
Spider-Verse.
been hearing this. It was confirmed that we were doing this movie. Mainly because one, it makes sense, and two, makes money. So
Yeah. And apparently, even though Tom Holland's role is going to be live action, apparently, like Miles Morales is still
still
going to be
animated.
animated.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
So that'll be funny to see how they do that. But it
We're gonna get
is
some Who Framed Roger Rabbit shit.
right, exactly. Um, Now it is also worth pointing out that another scooper, we've talked about some of their stuff before as well. Daniel Rickman, he did say that his sources are still kind of like 50-50 on whether this cameo is actually going to happen or not, but he did confirm that at the very least the events of No Way Home are going to be mentioned in the movie, which, you know, I guess that's how they're tying it all together with like the multiverse or whatever. But I mean, I don't know like exactly how they're gonna tie it in or like what they're gonna say or about the events of that movie, but we'll find out. We will find out. But yeah, I thought that was interesting, and if true, I'm looking forward to seeing the cameo in the movie, and who knows, maybe we'll see the other Spider-Man as well.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what they keep saying.
that might be wishful thinking to see all of them in there, but you never know. You never know. And with that being said, we had just a few other things to go over, all video game related stuff. So we're now moving on from movies to video game stuff. And the first of which is that apparently Variety has reported that Warner Bros. Is quote unquote very happy with Hogwarts Legacy's success. I think I saw somewhere they've already sold like 12 million copies of the game, if I remember correctly. But anyways, because of that, they now view it as a long-term franchise with sequels and or spin-off games very likely to be on the way, according to Variety. And they actually interviewed someone at Warner Bros. About that, which is where they got this information from. So it's straight from the source about that. Yeah.
You better be careful.
What do you guys think?
That's it. They better be careful. That success can turn around on you real quick. Because as a Harry Potter stan, you fuck it up, they're coming for you.
Sheesh.
Like, they came for J.K. Rowling when she fucked up Cursed Child. You think they ain't gonna come after you, dude? She made it. Like,
Yep.
I mean, people are coming at her for other reasons, but before that,
Yeah.
actually, probably during that, honestly, she's probably been
Sheesh.
a little something. But you know, art from the artist.
I mean, all I'll say is Hogwarts Legacy I thought was really good, and quite a bit of people think the same. So as long as they continue that, I mean, I'll definitely play more more games if they're anything like Hogwarts Legacy. So we shall see. We shall see. But with that being said, moving on to the next thing. Apparently, Rocksteady, they did a huge like showcase interview, something like that recently. I can't remember what for, but apparently during that they confirmed that they're going to be making future DLC for their upcoming Suicide Squad game. And among the things they confirmed that's going to be coming with those DLC is going to be new story missions and new playable characters are going to be added in future DLC for the game down the line. So curious to see who will be able to play as.
Yeah, I have much more hope for this game than I ever did for Gotham Knights.
Yeah, I can't say that because I actually did have quite a bit of hope for Gotham Knights, but it just turned out to be trash. But you know, it happens, I guess.
It's like I actually look at the gameplay for this game, like, oh, that looks fun.
Yeah. And it does.
And like when I looked at it for Gotham Knights, I was like, I hope that's fun.
I saw now this, they didn't talk about this, they didn't confirm this. This is just people speculating, but because when I first saw this, I just thought they meant like more like Suicide Squad characters being added that we could play as, but some people I've seen are I guess theorizing or speculating that well, because in the events of the game, you know, we know that you're going to be fighting the Justice League, right? As they're being controlled by Brainiac, but some people are saying that like after the game, you know, obviously they're going to be probably most likely freed from the mind control, and that we might actually even be able to play as some of the Justice League in future DLC, like Superman or the Flash or whoever, because they actually were, before they started working on this game, they actually were originally going to be making a Superman game. Fun fact. But then at some point they decided to just turn it into the Suicide Squad games. We'll see what happens, but yeah, either way, I'm very excited for not only the DLC but also for the game itself when it comes out.
Yes.
And with that being said, the very last thing I have is that, well, I'm hoping it's the first, but a Elden Ring DLC expansion called Shadow of the Erdtree was officially announced. And I was going to say the first DLC because I'm, you know, huffing the copium, hoping that they are going to make more DLC, but I actually don't know if they're going to make more. But we're at least getting one DLC expansion, though, which is this Shadow of the Erdtree, which, yeah, I mean, if it's literally anywhere close to what Elden Ring is, it's going to be phenomenal. So looking forward to that as well. They didn't say anything about
more FromSoft.
They didn't say anything about a potential time frame or release date or anything like that, but we do know that it's on the way at some point. But yeah, that's all I got for that. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add?
No, sir.
I don't think so.
All right, fair enough. Oh, there was one thing. I just thought of this too because I saw it. I saw it going around last night and earlier today. I don't know if you guys saw. Apparently, CS:GO 2.
Yeah, I did see that
announced or something like that. So just to clear things up for anyone that has seen that or is interested about that. So because I looked into it a little bit. It's not a new CS:GO game.
Updated engine.
Yeah, it's basically just a glorified update for CS:GO. It's not a new game. It's not, you know, it's not anything crazy like that. They're basically just moving it to the Source 2 engine, and they're changing a couple other things too. I think they're changing something with like the servers, like the server tick rate, something like that, which is I guess something that people have been asking about.
Oh
I know nothing
128
about that.
tick rate. I've been asking for that for years.
yeah, apparently they're doing that. Apparently they're changing some stuff with like the matchmaking system and a couple other things. But yeah, I just want to throw that out there because I've seen quite a few people online believing that it's a brand new CS:GO game
Yeah, dude, that ain't happening.
that's coming out, which would be sick, but yeah, probably not gonna happen. Unfortunate, but there you go. There you have it. And with that being said, that is going to be it for us on the podcast today. The next podcast will be as usual 2 weeks from now. And yeah, that's all I'll say. Hopefully we'll see you then.
That's it. Goodbye, everybody, forever.